He kept talking so much in class that they had to put sellotape on his mouth.
Hi, my name is Faith Gatungu, CEO Director, Young Engineers Kenya. I'm a mom of 2, and my children are part of this series that we've been doing in terms of young engineers. And today I'm privileged and honored to share our journey with a fellow steamy mama. Her name is Maureen, and she will introduce herself. Welcome, Maureen.
Thank you so much, Faith, for this opportunity. I'm glad to be here once again with the young engineers and be part of this unique series. As she's mentioned, my name is Maureen Moneki. I'm a wife and a mother of 2 boys who are involved in this young engineers program. It's such an amazing program that we get an opportunity to see our children grow in their creative and critical thinking. And this helps them to build themselves to become engineers, to become technologists, to become robotics people. So this is a great chance for us to be able to partner and do better in how we shall be able to build the future generation.
Today we would want to ask our steamy mama a few questions. Maureen, so Marcus and Sean are one of our favorite students, and we want to hear about their journey in school. And what is the funny, dramatic story you can share with us about their first experience in school?
If I may say, for a mother, it becomes emotional. For the child, it's amazing because they even forget that you existed. It was very emotional for me as a mother, but I was also excited at the same time because you tend to see now this is the part where they end up growing and growing into becoming the future generation.
Absolutely. I echo what you say, Maureen. My first day of school, especially for my son, it was so emotional because he cried the whole time and wanted to go back home with me. And I cried too, and I said, well, let's just go back home. What are we doing? You're too young in school. So I ended up going to class and sitting with him for at least half an hour. And then from then on, for a whole term, like half a term, I would go to class and sit there for half an hour. I tell you, being emotional as a parent is something. So I understand where you're coming from.
It can be overwhelming.
Yeah. What is one of the funniest things that the teacher told you about your sons when they first attended school?
Boys will always be boys.
Yeah.
So the funniest thing that I was told is that for Sean was that he kept talking so much in class that they had to put sellotape on his mouth. So that's one of the experiences that I got. For Marcus is that the teacher actually came and told me, your son can never sit still in class. He's the person who engages all children around. And sometimes when you see that, it means that it's okay for them to enjoy school. It's okay for them to enjoy that journey of growing up.
To just recap on what you said, boys will always be boys. So interesting as you say that, is it Sean or Marcus that had to have sellotape put on his mouth?
Sean.
So interesting. So my son Baraka decided with a few small young boys his age at the time, I think they were about 2.5, that they do not need to be going to the toilet, and therefore they discovered some very nice bushes around the school where they would go and do what they needed to do and then go back to class. And so it was so funny when the teachers called me and said, well, this is what is happening. And I found it so funny. So instead of taking it so seriously, I actually laughed about it. And then I told my son, you know what? There's a toilet somewhere, and tell your friends this is how you're supposed to do it. And that, as Marina said, you don't need to take life so seriously. Just allow the kids to be. Let them learn from making their mistakes, and don't take yourself too seriously. I know boys are not so good with doing assignments. At least mine is not. And he always looks for a plan B. Why he cannot do an assignment, or tells me he's already done the assignment. So what is your experience? What are your assignment chronicles with your boys?
Now that we have the CBC with us, remember, we have to interact closely with what they do. Now, the funniest thing is that you'll always, when kids come from school, they're expected to do a few activities, relax, before they can do their homework. And somehow, Sean, because Marcus hasn't started getting homework, Sean will always have a reason. Probably he wants to shower early, maybe he needs to go outside. By the time he gets to sitting down to start his homework, unless I tag it with something that is related to a weekend's activity, sometimes he doesn't even take it. He assumes that it's, I'll just do it. And even though he sits down and does it, you'll always find that it's to quickly finish up and move on to the next.
I appreciate that encouragement, because sometimes as a parent, you may just think that it's only your child that does not like school or doesn't like to do homework. Sometimes you may feel like you're not doing a good job as a parent because your child is struggling with homework. But this is part of the process as parents, that you just have to find who your child is in terms of their personality and try and work with them. Some are more playful than others, some are more serious and more they're able to plan their work better. So when I compare my daughter, for example, she's able to plan her homework. I never need to chase. I never need to look at it. When I look at my son, I have to chase. I have to look whether the homework has been done. So children are different. And as parents, we need to appreciate that and own the journey and not trying to make children the same.